made and broke, running the hole, whatever you want to call it, a whole bunch of times. And really, that's the only difference between a work string and a regular tubing.
Okay, so do they start out being green as well? Because I just remembered you said you work on the green pipes, inspecting them, so.
The only thing that I would think would be green, none of the pipe that goes in the well that I know of is green.
Yeah,
the only pipe that I know is green is like pipeline pipe, and it's because it has a coating on the outside to prevent it from corrosion.
Okay.
Corroding.
Well, back to that work string, you said it's so durable and it's made to be worked over so many times, so it doesn't need to be sprayed with any kind of chemical?
Wouldn't think so.
Okay.
I mean, maybe when they take it in back into the yard and inspect it, and they could put a corrosion inhibitor, the black coating. We call it mill varnish in the language of inspectors, but it just keeps it from rusting and makes it look better. A lot of people don't do it. Some people do it, some people don't. Makes it look better, prevents it from rusting and getting stuff on the outside of it, but a whole bunch of it is aesthetic. It just makes it look better.
Because they were saying that when the pipe comes out of the hole, or when the pipe is being run in the hole, that this coating, this chemical that they spray comes off and it goes into the reverse tank, and then it gets this odor. And, neighborhoods, people complain about this odor that comes off these pipes that have some chemical sprayed on them during inspection, and this is a work string we're talking about. So I was hoping maybe you could elaborate on that. And
No, I really don't know. What does it smell like?
Well, for me, it smelled like cat piss.
Smells like what?
Cat piss, real high ammonia smell. Some people thought maybe it had like a creosote smell, a wintergreen smell. Somebody described it as a burnt oil odor. So I don't know.
I'm kind of. That's one reason I didn't answer the email yet, because I was kind of thinking it over in my head as to what, because I really don't know. There's a lot of smells. A lot of those wells have a little hydrogen sulfide in them, and you get kind of a rotten egg smell when they're doing things, and it kind of hangs around. But but the other smells, like I said, and the only thing I could think they would be putting some kind of inhibitor, corrosion, whatever on it, but then normally, we just did that one time, like when it came in after a job and you inspected and cleaned it up, you didn't do it every time you went in and out with it. And then the other thing would be, unless they use, that could be something too. Depending on what they use for completion fluid, when they're bringing the fluid, the water and stuff back to the reverse tank, it could have a smell because it could be a completion fluid. It could be fuel salt water. It depends on what you go from. Okay, fresh water, which weighs 8.3 pounds per gallon, to fuel salt water, which is probably 8.6 to maybe 9.1, to depend on how much salt it's got in it. And then you go to brine, which is 10 pounds. And then after brine, if they've got more pressure, then that'll stand. Then you have to start going to like calcium chloride, calcium bromide. But all of those have a smell. And it's just, even fuel salt water stinks. to me.
Yeah.
And that's just part of it. And I would think that probably if you were downwind from the workover operation or whatever the heck they're doing, that you would maybe get some smell of, because where field salt water comes from is when the oil comes out of the ground, the oil doesn't come out pure. And so that's the reason they got all those gizmos over there on the location other than the tanks. And it's to separate the oil from the water and the gas.
Yeah, and we're a dry gas. What about a red dyed liquid penetrant? Do you think that would be put on the pipes?
Do what now?
What about a liquid penetrant to see if the pipes leak? Do they spray that on the pipes, maybe?
Not that I would, not in that kind of volume. Not that I would be aware of.
Okay, so the red dye penetrant, maybe that might be some other type of piping that they spray.
Yeah, dye penetrant is an inspection, but it's you have to do it under black light, and you usually do it just on. Actually, don't even do it a lot. Use magnetic particle now, but dye penetrant is you spray it on, and then if there's a crack, it shows you where the crack is. But I wouldn't know why they would be spraying that on a work string or on that pipe. Like I say, most of it is, I don't know what inspection, unless they're doing something, inspecting it as it comes out of the hole, but then I'm not really up on how that works. But I don't think they spray anything on it when they do that. Mm-hmm. They pull the pipe through a electronic magnetic sensor that they put on top of the wellhead or on top of the blowout preventers. But I never think it sprayed any kind of fluid or any kind of material on it.
Sounds to me like they were spraying it during inspection of manufacturer. I just assumed that. But if this was that reconditioning lacquer, that black coating rust inhibitor protector that you were talking about, do you think under heat, extreme heat in the earth, that it would be coming off?
Yes, ma'am.
And that might be it.
Well, yeah, like I said, if your completion fluid depends on what they use for completion fluid, depends on what they're circulating. Like I said, field salt water comes from being separated from the oil and the gas because they all come out together, and so it carries some oil and gas stink with it, like oil stinks.
Yeah.
And that water carries some of that with it. They could have possibly, excuse me, added some kind of corrosion inhibitor or something to it, because if anything where salt is a little bit corrosive, but then like field water is the bottom, and then brine, and then your calcium chlorides and calcium bromides, and those are very, very corrosive, and so you got to put something in them. And other than that, the only other thing I can think about, and that would be something I guess that was in the well, but if they had a paraffin problem in their tubing, they could be running some kind of chemical to dissolve the paraffin.
Oh, the paraffin, yeah, because that could block up that filter cake they're trying to make in that completion fluid, right?
Well, it blocks up the inside of the tubing and wouldn't let the oil come out. Okay.
Well, and they also talk about they fixed this problem by keeping the tanks cleaned and the water, hauled off, in neighborhoods. I wish they would have done that in my neighborhood.
Yeah, it would be better.
Well, and if it sits there a couple days, then all that bacteria would probably proliferate once it hit the oxygen too. So I don't know how much of it is a stale odor and how much of it is some kind of chemical odor that's coming off the work string. I'm going to get to the bottom of it though. I have to.
Well, I'm sorry I can't help you more.
Well, Mr. Finney, it was a pleasure talking with you again.
Thank you.
You have a great day.
And if I think of anything else, I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank
you.
Bye-bye.